This week on the show, we're featuring Snowflake Obsidian, Tanzanite under the microscope cam, eggs on Why'd I Buy That, 21 new jokes, and more fancy than a pair of pants. I got shut down when I asked a girl robot out. She said we weren't compatible, but I just think she wasn't up to date. Let's start the show. There we are. Up and running. This is some really old video. Sometimes people ask me how long it takes to cut a gem. It's about an hour, including the final polish by hand on the desk. When I say desktop, it's like, oh, the computer desktop. No, on my actual top of my real life desk. So it's probably about 30 to 45 minutes of sitting in front of the grinding wheel per gem. But the real hard part is deciding how I'm going to finish it. And this one, I just decided I'd go with that bullet / upside down boat shape. When it comes to opaque gems, you got one of two things you're trying to do. You're either trying to get a nice even color, because a lot of opaque gems have cracks in them, or they have like color zones in them where there's more color in one area than the other. So like with turquoise, you want to get a nice big flat surface with lots of the same color. That's the hard thing to do. But it also looks nice. With something like Snowflake Obsidian, where there's inclusions that are part of the showiness of the stone, the idea is to do something with the pattern that is very showy. And as far as this piece goes, I didn't quite achieve that. I mean, I'd like to say that I did, but really, the pattern doesn't do anything. It's not like I got black top with speckles on the outside. Because there's speckles on the top, there's speckles on the side, and they're not a very even pattern either. But I do have a couple of other pieces of Snowflake Obsidian that I can show under the microscope cam to kind of highlight what I'm talking about. Holy Frito-Lays! Tom Kelly made it to the show before the show started. That was awesome, and also not awesome because I didn't start the show at the right time. What I did was I scheduled the show an hour late, because I tell people 9 p.m. Eastern. That way, no matter where you are, there's no confusion. But then when I schedule it, I have to schedule it for my time zone, which I scheduled it at the wrong time. I wound up scheduling it. So anyway, I scheduled it at the same time as Tom Kelly's show, which I dropped the link for the after show party. So we're going to do that. And then I changed it. He showed up and he's like, oh, hey. So he's actually got a pretty cool show coming up later at, an hour 45 minutes from now, called Will Smith's New Apology, The Choco Taco, and Ryan Peterson. So he's interviewing a guy named Ryan Peterson. He's talking about the Choco Taco, which I want to know more about that, because who doesn't love a taco? Especially when it's got some Choco. It's just beautiful. It's a great thing. And then we got Jeffrey Allen in the house. Actually, Shogun, I was talking about you either last week or the week before. One or the other. I can't remember exactly. But I had something to say, and it was probably important. Or not important. Either way, I said it, and it happened. Kiwi Claw, welcome to the program. Glad you made it by. How's your Sunday, and Saturday? I actually wound up going to a game show, a comedy game show. It's a new concept by James Draper. Local comedian, but also widening out his bookings. And it's kind of a weird thing. It's like there's 3 teams, and they got to write a joke based on one word prompt. And then they score points based on the audience laughs. And then one of the 3 teams is eliminated. The other 2 teams face each other in a roast battle to score points to become the winning team. And it was about a 2-hour show. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Thanks, James Draper, for putting on the show, and thanks to the Village Theater, and thanks to all the awesome comedians. Jeffrey, okay, I will watch last episode. Awesome. Bye, Jeffrey. Okay, I read Jeffrey as part of the comment. Gotcha. Downriver Mining and Lapidary. You do opal, and I actually got a piece of opal I was showing last week. I'm using it to fix Colette's ring. She's got a ring going on. Ah, yeah, the chatbot. Oh, with the chatbot, baby. Yeah, and I'm not even singing the song right. All right, there. We got the chatbot. So we can do stuff like this. One of these weeks, I'm going to have another chatbot stream. Yes, I do. Do opal. You got some beautiful opal. Actually, we need to drop your Instagram so that people can find you on Instagram. Oh, and before I forget, this obsidian, and yeah, this is an older video. We're about to switch to the newer part of the video. The obsidian, it's really hard for the most part, but it is glass, so it has soft zones in it. Colette made it to the show. Welcome to the program. Let's wrench up downriver. Cam, my chat gems get me salsa. Kiwi, the salsa garden's doing great, man. It will. Actually, that's a great idea. Let's do that. I got hacked on my Instagram. Oh, no. No, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. That's not good at all. Speaking of which, I think you can go like this. That's a great idea, Kiwi. Because I actually bought a new a new package of jars, a flat of jars. I got a whole bunch of jars. It's jarring how many jars I have. And we're gonna have to do that. I'm gonna take a note. Salsa gems give away. Nice. Awesome. Okay, let's get... Thank you, phone. Trying to participate. Cheers. Welcome to the program. Absolutely refreshing. I need a mug that reads Gem Juice. And then that could be in my merch, right? Taking down notes. Winning all the time. Gem Juice glass mug. And it can't be a coffee mug. It's got to be an actual, like, see-through glass mug. It's going to be a fresh mug. Like this one. Yeah. Where are we at? Where's the next video? It's all the way in a different folder. Going to the phones, going to the folders, going to the city. Gonna meet a lot of people. Wrong folder. Got too many folders, folks. Too many. I got so many folders. I got more than too many. I got 3 many. This and more jokes coming up in about 15 minutes. There we go. Got about 9 minutes to get through the microscope portion of the program. Hope you're ready to have a great week. We're going to make it a great week. It's going to be really cool because we're going to get to see Tom Kelly on the Tom Kelly Show in about 30 minutes. Isn't that awesome? He came by to say hello. So, y'all remember my interview with Liz Mealy and how it was a train wreck? I asked someone who actually Tom Kelly had on his show, and I was listening to her talk about, like, she's going to be making this public speaking class. Talking about Lauren Ray from the Bob and Tom show. No, the Elvis Duran show. Totally messed that up. And excuse my messing it up. But the point is that she said she'd do an interview to teach me how to interview better. So won't that be fun? An interview for how to interview. And then when I get Tom Kelly on the show, then I won't train wreck that interview. Man, because I'm always like, there's this part where I'm like, okay, I'm on the phone. And then there's this other part where I'm like, all right, let's switch to interview mode. And it just does not work out. Gonna eat a lot of people. Peaches. That's what it is. Going to the country. Gonna eat a lot of peaches. Go into the adult site. Gonna see a lot of peaches. What? Who said that? Okay, we've got that part. We've got this part. We're firing up the microscope cam. Do you have any questions about Snowflake Obsidian? Or Obsidian in general? Or Gemstones for that matter? Now's the time to ask them. Or any time during the show. If that's not confusing, I'll try to make it more confusing. Joke intro, camera software. Make the software some hardware. Oh man, we could really expand on that joke I told earlier about asking out a girl robot. And something about she didn't like my hardware. She thought my hardware was software. Or something. I told her I can turn she turns my hardware, she turns my software into hardware. We're on the right track with that one. That joke started out as a joke where I was like up to date. There's a joke there. And I wrote that joke like sometime last week, but it wasn't ready. And so I just kept chewing on it and chewing on it and chewing on it. And I think it finally came together when I added the word compatible. She said we weren't compatible, but I think she just wasn't up to date. It totally works because compatibility and being up to date, I think it works. Anyway, what also works is the microscope portion of the program. So here's what I got for this gem. It's a big gem. It's kind of like when the ships fly by in Star Trek or Star Wars, you know, the big ships go by. Because it does kind of have a essence of an upside down boat, right? It's like, oh no, we capsized. And now we're floating under the microscope. Which is kind of like what the aliens watch when they look down on us. That kind of thing. I have an aliens looking down on us joke later, too. So those are pits that kind of show the crackliness of the obsidian. And the problem with trying to grind those out... Now, this is sort of a discussion we got to have real quick. So the deeper I go, it's like there's pit pockets, right? So I sand this pit pocket out, but then I reach to this pit pocket. So it's like pits in different areas. But on the other end of that, when I grind with a finer, you know, the disc is here and it's got big old grits on it, or it's got tiny little grits on it. Tinier grits lead to smaller openings, typically. So you can reduce the pit pockets by using a smaller grit to polish it. But since it's the back of the gem, I wasn't too overly concerned with that. I figured the front of the gem has more artistic value. So I was able to get it down and there's less pit pockets in the front. Enough to make me happy. Happy with the gem. Here's the size of it. Make a pretty good pendant, right? You know, some kind of a necklace thingy. ding. If I had two of them, I could make earrings out of them. That'd be pretty big earrings. You could put them on chains, and then you could fight in Street Fighter and be like Chun-Li, where you like turn around and your earrings go smack. I think we're onto something. So that's what I have for Snowflake Obsidian. I wanted to do this little guitar pick, but there's two reasons I didn't really do the guitar pick. One is the number one reason, had trouble finding the footage. Can't find the footage for this guy yet, but I'm going to keep looking for it. The other reason is that a few weeks ago I did that blue apatite, which kind of has a guitar pick shape. It's really more of an ice cream cone shape. But okay, so here is the pattern for the Snowflake Obsidian. See those pits of that like browner stuff? That's still the rough snowflakiness. It's still down in there. So I haven't ground far enough to get rid of that yet. But then it's got some of these smaller specks. These are quartz diasterisms in the Snowflake Obsidian. And these two, here you can see this crack right here. These two pieces were actually together, and then I broke them apart. I pried on them with my hand manliness and snapped it off. And I snapped it off of another piece, so maybe that's why I can't figure out how they go together. But they go together somehow or another. And I was like, we'll just snap them off by hand and whip this out, and then we'll have a gem for the show, because I really wanted to throw some Snowflake Obsidian on my Instagram. But then I found the footage for the other guy. So it's not that big of a deal. Bloop. Broke them off. Right off of each other. So we'll get to shaping those, and they'll be a feature in a few weeks, you know. Because I do like some Snowflake Obsidian. I just want to challenge myself to do more with the pattern. Thank you, phone. We appreciate that. Okay, where were we? Where were we? Tanzanite. I was going to show some Tanzanite, but first I'm going to show this piece of opal again. I'm going to show this for Shogun. So this is the piece of opal I got for Colette's ring. I want to grind this top area off and kind of expose more of this greenness, because that's what we need for the ring. But I'm actually thinking I might try and grind down some of this nastiness off the end over here. So the idea, since it's so slippery, is I'm going to glue it on a dop, a stick. I'm going to glue it on this nail, and then I'm going to, you know, grind it that way. And eventually it'll be a feature. Hopefully we're going to get her ring by Christmas. That's the plan. So that's why I'm going to keep pushing forward with that. But anyway, I had this piece of Tanzanite, and I really like it. It's opaque Tanzanite, but it's got a nice blue color, doesn't it? It's beautiful. You can kind of see the white line. Let's look at that under the microscope. I wanted to show you. I had this on the dop so I could shape it. There's the white line. This is what I was talking about earlier. That's why I thought it'd be a good feature. With opaque stone like this, you want to get a nice even color. You can see I got this crack I'm dealing with over here that's not too bad. It's not too incredibly bad. I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with leaving it. But then you got this big crack here, and that's not okay. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to grind down this edge? I think so. That's kind of where we're going with it. That's the plan. Okay, we're out of time for the video. So let's go ahead and get to the why'd I buy that. Also, back to the chats, because I probably missed some really awesome things and stuff like that. Nailed It Outdoors, what is up, buddy? It's good to see you. Always good to see Nailed It Outdoors. How's it going, man? What you been up to? How was your week? How is this week? It's gonna be great. Roxy Rants, have you been playing the video game Stray, where you jump around and talk to the robots, and they have all that robot lettering? Because that is a really cool game, in my opinion. Lots of green. It's gonna look awesome, Colette. It will. Thanks for the confidence. Nailed it outdoors. Thanks for the boost, man. I really appreciate my mouth appreciates it so much I can't even read things and speak at the same time. Buds and Hazards, thanks for coming by the show, man. We got a great community of people coming by here. Oh yeah, we had Tom Kelly's show stop by beforehand, and that's why I've been dropping the link for his show that he's going to be doing in like about 30 minutes, not quite. What's Stray? That's Korean. Oh wow, yeah, I actually had the gal at Calva Apparel. I asked her, I was like, hey, can you make me a nunchuck patch? But all the nunchuck patches are in Japanese, and I want one in Korean. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that I can get her to make me one in Korean. She said it's kind of tough to do, but if I can get her a PDF file, she'll do that. So that's kind of the plan. But she's getting her store started right now, and I didn't want to overload her with stuff. So maybe this winter, when wintertime rolls around and all the like outdoor, vendor fairs and stuff slow down, I think then I'm going to talk to her about that. Anya Haiga Sipsio. It means hello. Ah, great. Roxy, that's awesome. Austin McCool, talking about cool. There's Austin being all McCool. How's it going, buddy? It's good to see you. I'm glad to see you. Both of those things all together. See, that's what we do here on the show. We make things more convenient. We smash stuff together. I dop all my stones, but that backside is going to be a pain. 600 to 1200 cerium is standard, but I have taken them up to 8,000 soft wheel. Ooh, okay. So let me talk to Jeffrey a little bit here, Shogun, about, and Colette too, I want you to listen to this. I got the faceter machine, right? And the hand faceter, which you're seeing me work with now, that's 1,000 grit wheel. And then I take it to a 1,500 and a 2,000 on the desk to finish polish. But I just got a tin top lap wheel from Ultratech, and I got some dops. And I just tried 8,000 grit diamond paste in the syringe, not the cheap one, the more expensive. It's like $15 per syringe, and it's worth it. It did a great job. It got a great polish on this amethyst that we're going to feature in a few weeks. I need to actually flip it over, and I need to polish the top and stuff. And I was thinking about trying one of the dops because it's on one of the homemade dops, and I think it's just a little bit crooked because it's like even, not quite as even. But, we're trying to, just test out the lap wheel, and it worked great. That 8,000 is great. I mean, because I've heard that when you do diamonds, going up to 50,000 grit is great for competition, and people pay a lot of money for diamonds. But when you're doing colored stones and you get above 10,000, it doesn't really make that much of a difference in the flare and the finish, and they don't sell for that much anyway, so why go from 10,000 to 25,000, then up to 50,000, and for the real tough competitions, 100,000 grit, which is incredibly fine. I mean, that's like blowing on it. I know some Korean. Yeah, hey, Roxy, you're doing great too with your punches, your one steps. You were picking up on them really quick. Sometimes it takes quite a while to get people into it, but I have those up to 250,000 grit. But Opal likes felt with cerium. Okay, so yeah, you wouldn't want to polish opal with diamond. It'd cut too deep, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be too hard on it. Seeing you have a comedy show fundraiser coming up. Good luck, my friend. Oh, dude, it's going to be awesome, man. Speaking of which, we got to get to the Why'd I Buy That so I can get to the jokes this week, and then we can get on over to the Tom Kelly show. This is what you need to know. Well, do you buy eggs? Look at all those eggs. I go to the egg part. It's like, how do they make eggs anyway? Do they make eggs from... Do eggs come from an eggplant? Like a manufacturing plant? Where eggs come from? Or do they grow right out of the eggplant? Is there an egg tree? I don't think so. I think eggs come from chickens. That's why they're always talking about them together. And that's why eggs and cheese are delicious, and chicken and cheese is delicious, because it's both the same thing together. But anyway, I wanted some eggs because I like to top my burger with some egg. It's an egg burger. Egg over easy on top of the cheeseburger. Poke. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. So I want to get some eggs, right? And I go to the store. They got this whole aisle full of eggs. It even says up high eggs. So I know what I'm getting, you know? And I go there and I see all these eggs and I'm like, well, which ones do I want to buy? You know, I want to save some money. Eggs are eggs are eggs, and they're not. But as far as grabbing them from this shelf, they're all eggs. So I go and I get the affordable eggs that I can get, and you know I'm gonna go through a lot of them. So I mean, not necessarily that I eat eggs a lot. I usually eat like 2 eggs a week, but they'll last. So I wind up, I go and I look, they got the extra large, they got the jumbo eggs, which really I've found that the difference between like medium eggs, large eggs, extra large eggs, and jumbo eggs is mostly the amount of white. The yolk is pretty much the same size. I mean, maybe not, but from my experience, it's pretty much the same amount of yolk. And I'm kind of going with a 50-50 on that, you know? I mean, I actually, to be realistic, I like the white part of the egg with salt and pepper and butter, but mostly I'm just there for the salt and the pepper and the butter. So I just add more of that to the regular egg, and I'm eating less bulk. So I get the large eggs. That's what I bought. That's what you're looking at right there is the 18 large eggs. And they have them in like 12, but then they have them in 18, and the price per egg is better with the 18 eggs because it was actually lower. Sometimes when you get the bigger container, the price is about the same or higher even. But in this case, I was saving a little money. And let's see, when I was at the shelf, I reached up on the top to the back. And the reason when I go toward the back for the cold things is it's colder and it lasts longer trying to take it home. So that's why I grabbed that. Oh, and one other thing. When I grab the eggs, I open the carton and I run my hand across all of them. Not because I like to feel the eggs, just because I like to move them all and make sure none of them are cracked and open and stuck down to the bottom. So that's kind of what I do when I buy eggs. And that's why I bought those eggs. Do you ever buy eggs? Why'd you buy that? I mean, which one did you buy and why'd you buy that? My chickens should be laying eggs anyway now. Oh, that'll be awesome. I remember that. You got chickens. Okay, Emily. So, Lois, another person who got chickens this year, sad story, happy ending. Her sister and her husband both passed away in a pretty small area of time. And she's been like, sad and depressed. And it's like they did everything together, And so she's here hanging out, and she's got to hang out because she's got some grandkids and stuff. And, also I like having her around. So we need Lois to stick around. She got some chickens. And it's like caring for these chickens has just been like, it's like a new thing. It's an awesome thing. And she told me she was talking to some people about how she got some chickens, and some other people that weren't in their conversation felt the gall to turn around and act like the expert. And this ain't even on Facebook. This is in real life. This is like, people who are like, 60 or 70 or something like that, and they're like somebody we know had chickens and it didn't work out and they had to get rid of them and it was this big ordeal. And Lois is like, you know what? You can take your I told you so, put it in your pocket, and when I cry uncle, then you can pull it out and tell me I told you so. But until then, you just keep it in your pocket and save it for later. And I was like, Lois, that story is awesome. I got to tell it on the show. But to kind of fast forward to the point that I bring it up, Emily, Lois got her chicks this year like you did, and she just got her first 2 eggs. So, yeah, you should be having some eggs any old day now, as long as they got a place to lay them. They got some little coops to coop their eggs in, And I think Dad used to feed the chickens like something with extra calcium so the shells were a little bit thicker and they didn't break so easily. But either way, They were delicious. Delicious eggs. We buy the cheap ones. Yep, that's what I did too, Roxy. You know, you save a little money, you save a lot of money. That's kind of how that works. I do the same. Make sure they are not stuck to the container. Exactly. I mean, I don't take the time to take them all out because how much are you saving then? You know, the eggs are like a few pennies, but I mean, I'm there, I open it, I go like, derp, and then I close it. At least I know that like half of them aren't busted out, you know? It's a little bit quicker to get it done. I miss my Batman hen. Wow. Dude, to have a hen who is also a Batman, that's freaking awesome. And you named the Batman chicken pork chop. That's hilarious. Our newest is a Batman. Her name is Lucy. A Batwoman, Lucy. I like it. It's a great plan. So, like, do you find, you know, like bad guys tied up when they try to get in there and steal the eggs? Is that what makes them a Batman hen? Because they're like all, you know, ninja of the night and flying around and stuff. I'm so freaking excited. Me too. I want to hear about that. They just turned 16 weeks. If they get too much calcium before they start laying, they could molt. Oh, okay, so yeah, you don't want to do that. Been introducing the calcium. Okay. And Colette likes eggs too. She's looking at them and she's smacking them with pans and thinking about what her brain looks like on drugs. Okay, you guys are fantastic. Let's see, where are we with the show? Got to do the jokes, and then it's time for Tom Kelly. So what do I got in terms of jokes for you? Did I turn the webcam off? I would do something like that. Boom. Whoa. Hey, how's it going? Let's tell you some jokes that I got this week. All right, what do I got? Ow, my fingers. Love doing that. I gotta stop myself from doing that too often. I'm too poor to buy Ray-Ban sunglasses. I had to drink enough coffee to get the U-Ban sunglasses. I got shut down when I asked out a girl robot. She said we weren't compatible, but I just think she wasn't up to date. That's my new favorite joke this week. I've been trying to skip lunch so I can cut down on my stomach. I want my six-pack to show if I can get there. So I've been stopping eating lunch, and instead I just take a vitamin. But those chocolate chip cookies look so good. It makes me wonder why they don't have chocolate chip vitamins. I think I need to rewrite that one. It could be a little funnier. The punchline is chocolate chip vitamins. That just sounds fantastic. Someone said they were at the gym and they started getting harassed by a gym rat. I said, tell the gym rat to be careful when they power walk, because they might suffer a power trip. No, it's pretty dumb too. Oh, I think let's see. I ate raw chicken and started acting like an elderly couple. I think I got salmonella. A recent discovery shows that the largest contributor to global warming is people sending their warmest regards. Please, in the essence of cooling down the planet, just send regular regards. Save your warmest regards for the wintertime. All right, it's time for the joke news. And I want to say cheers to you all for joining me for the joke portion. Definitely got to do that. Gem juice mug. It'd be a great merch item. In order to prevent unnecessary panic, the Entomological Society has changed the name of murder hornets. Their new name is murder gnats. New York City plans to fight the rat problem by limiting the hours trash bags can sit on the streets. This is bad news for the Pizza Pied Piper. That one was terrible. But I included it because it's the joke portion. All right, I got the same joke, but I think this one's a little better. New York City plans to fight the rat problem by limiting the hours that trash bags can sit on the streets. Politicians fighting rats? Haven't we had enough rat-on-rat crime? CIA dispels rumors that Putin is unwell, saying as far as we can tell, he's entirely too healthy. Until we get him vaccinated. It's a terrible joke. In Spain, 2 suspects were arrested for stealing $1.6 million in wine from a hotel after they forgot to restock the minibar. And that stuff's pricey. Beijing vows consequences if Nancy Pelosi travels to Taiwan, claiming they will unsubscribe from her OnlyFans. Man. Beyonce's new album leaked early. Sounds like Destiny's Child needs a new diaper. That's pretty bad, too. Okay. Weather forecasters are now connecting hot days to climate change. After which they said, ow, fire hot. And then they claimed that rain is responsible for global wetting. And the lightning flashes are just aliens taking selfies. Amazon to buy primary healthcare provider One Medical. After which they plan to buy a Park Place and Reading Railroad to win the Monopoly game. 4 more to go. A highly intoxicated woman in Florida was arrested for stabbing a minivan with a pitchfork. She also gave the Uber driver a 1-star review. Banana workers say that pesticides made them sterile, after which U.S. women started masturbating with bananas. Trump was booed at a rally in Arizona. Apparently, the booing came from his ex-wife trying to haunt him. The ghost of his ex-wife trying to haunt him. Okay, yeah, that one. And last one. This is my favorite, even though it didn't hit that well, but I guess I don't know why I like it, but it's just, I thought it was clever, right? I thought it was clever. Buzz Aldrin's moon jacket sells for $2.8 million. Not the one he wore to the moon, just a regular jacket with a picture of his butt on it. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not the jacket he wore to the moon, but just a regular jacket with a picture of his butt. These are your headlines. Thank you for tuning in for the joke news. Well, I guess that's all I got. Then I'm supposed to do the outro to the joke intro portion. For the joke portion of the program. Thank you all for joining me for another fantastic week. Jacob Condoleezza Rice's OnlyFans. Oh, does she have an OnlyFans? Crazy. What are they doing on these OnlyFans? Making political statements? I hope you guys appreciated the jokes this week. I'm gonna try and not Batman, Bantam Man. Phantom Man. It's a phantom chicken, so it's not real. It's imaginary, or it hides in the night. Either way, it's a lot like Batman. Thanks for the correction. Bantam. I'm gonna have to look that up. Nailed it outdoors. Thank you for clapping, man. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the joke portion. I hope you all enjoyed the last week, and I hope you're gonna get ready for an awesome start to an awesome August. Can't believe it's that time already, but now's the time to pack in all the awesomeness that you haven't packed in already before you run out of warm days. I mean, it's hot out, but I've just been getting out there and enjoying the hot. Like gotta heat it up, baby. Political statements and hoes. That's funny. I hope you all had a great week. Not really sure how to round out the show except to invite you all to the after party, which is the Tom Kelly Show. Let's see. Let's do Gemmin Out Raid if you're bored enough. And actually, even if you're not bored enough, because it's usually a lot of fun. I mean, it's not going to start for like 10 minutes, but either way, it's pretty cool, and I always like to check it out because it's fun. There's other cool people there, and you're cool people, they're cool people. It's awesome to build a community and say hi to folks. We got a party going on, and we're gonna do it again next week, and every week at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for coming by. Go be awesome. I'll see you next time.